My name is Emmanuel Frimpong, and this is just a little video to
educate you about the national grid and its significance on our lives.
But first, I have a video to show you all.
Where energy comes from. The three major fossil fuels, coal, oil and natural gas, are all formed from organic remains of prehistoric plants and animals. These remains are subject to intense pressure over millions of years, changing them into coal, oil and gas. We often find oil and natural gas in similar areas, hundreds of meters below the seabed, though gas is usually found deeper still. Through seismology, it's possible to artificially create vibrations on the surface by using controlled explosions and record how these vibrations are reflected back to the surface, revealing the properties of the rock layers beneath. Wells are drilled from a drilling rig to confirm the presence and quantity of gas in the rock, which travels up lengths of pipe once reached. If there is enough gas, the drilling rig is replaced by a production platform to collect and send it to the shore under pressure via pipeline. National Grid then takes the gas from the shore and sends it around the countryside through steel pipelines over 1 meter wide. As the gas gets closer to homes, the pipelines split into smaller ones, which may only be 20 millimeters wide. How electricity is made. Atoms consist of a positively charged central nucleus and negatively charged electrons, which float around the outside in much the same way as satellites orbit the Earth. When groups of atoms form materials, such as metals, electrons are free to move and flow, jumping between the atoms. These materials are known as conductors. This movement or flow of electrons is what we know as electricity. Power stations work by turning mechanical energy, movement, into electrical energy. A mechanical force turns a turbine, which rotates large magnets within coils of wire, and this induces electrical current, generating electricity. Electricity generators can be powered in a number of ways. Burning fossil fuels. Coal, oil and natural gas are traditional fuels, but are harmful to the environment and cause climate change. Plutonium can be split to create nuclear energy. This method can produce huge amounts of electricity, but nuclear material is unstable and requires very careful management, and disposal of byproducts is difficult. Biomass is a renewable source of energy, including natural substances such as wood, organic waste, hydrogen gas and alcohol fuels. There are also other fuels which are renewable and are better for the environment. Wind power can harness the wind to turn the turbines and generate electricity. Hydropower uses the power and weight of water to turn the turbines. Solar power can also be used to generate electricity by capturing the sun's energy. National Grid can take the electricity generated from any of these sources, putting it into the network that eventually delivers electricity to homes and high streets around the country. National Grid plays a vital role in delivering gas and electricity to many millions of people across Great Britain and northeastern US in an efficient, reliable and safe manner. Electricity cannot be stored, so National Grid must balance supply and demand on a minute-by-minute basis. This function also ensures the security and quality of energy supply across the whole system, so that it's always there when it's needed.
Get Frimpong, stay dentro, get Frimpong, ditch. You don't wanna get Frimpong, ditch. You don't wanna get Frimpong, stay dentro, get Frimpong, stay dentro, get Frimpong, ditch.
Did you enjoy that? I did. I'll now be talking about the Dinorwig Power Station and First Hydro Company Electric Mountain in Landbris.
So, the Dinorwig Power Station is a 1,728 megawatt pumped storage hydroelectric scheme near Dinorwig, Llanberis and Snowdonia National Park in Gwynedd, North Wales. It comprises 16 kilometers of tunnels, 1 million tons of concrete, 200,000 tons of cement, and 4,500 tons of steel. The original purpose of the scheme, it is claimed, was to deal with the difficulty that national grid would have had if the large numbers of nuclear power stations then planned had been built. These are technically and economically inflexible, ideally needing to run at full output all of the time, and, effectively, storage capacity was needed for some of the nighttime power when the demand for power dropped off. Electric night storage heaters and the Economy 7 tariff fulfill a similar purpose. The scheme was constructed in the abandoned Dinorwic slate quarry. In order to preserve the natural beauty of Snowdonia National Park, the power station itself is located deep inside the mountain Ellitor 4, inside tunnels and caverns. The project, begun in 1974, and costing $425 million and taking 10 years to complete, was the largest civil engineering contract ever awarded by the UK government at the time. This is kind of how the whole thing works, so I would have recommended that you study the diagram well.
Did that clear things up? Here are a few fun and dense facts about the national grid. The national grid is one of the world's largest energy companies. The national grid operates a variety of companies across the United Kingdom, and since the year 2000, in parts of the northeastern United States. The national grid came into existence following the privatization of the United Kingdom's utility sector in the 1980s. In 1986, the government-owned British Gas Company was privatized with the sale of shares in the company, according to the National Grid's United Kingdom website. In 1989, the British government sold shares in the United Kingdom's electricity network, with the National Grid Company plc taking control of the transmission system for electricity in England and Wales and joint ownership of the United Kingdom's system connected to Scotland and France. According to the National Grid website, the company is responsible for delivering gas to around 11 million customers in the UK through a system of local gas distribution companies. The company is also responsible for operating the gas supply network throughout Great Britain and the electricity supply system in England and Wales. According to Funding Universe, the National Grid Company controls and maintains around 84,000 miles of both overground and underground energy distribution lines in the United States. Of these lines, the National Grid website reports around 14,000 miles are electricity distribution lines.
You lot are just inspirational to me. Tears when I come through my... just emotional. Very emotional. I would like to say that. And thanks for the support.